What's up, guys? Welcome to SuTube. It is September the 1st. Hope you're all having a good day. Today we are going to be taking a look at my macro predictions with Bitcoin, as well as zooming in a little bit, taking a closer look, and as well we're going to hop into Ethereum and take a little look at that too. If you guys think that sounds interesting, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, hit the subscribe. Think about things you'd like me to touch base on in future videos and things you agree or disagree with so that you can let me know after the video. Any feedback is much appreciated, guys. And with that, we are going to hop into it. Alright, starting off with the macro trend here, guys. We're looking at my Bitstamp chart on Bitcoin. It is my weekly chart, and it's just a little cleaner than my shorter term day trading chart setup. So we'll start by looking at this. One thing that I want to bring to your attention, just from a cautious point of view, is you guys know that in my last video I pointed out this red resistance box and how we were getting rejected there. I mean, we never got rejected hard. You can see our next weekly close was a green candle. Just something to be aware of, that we are fighting with that even today. Right now you can see we wicked to this red box here. So it's just something to keep on the radar. If that red box kind of keeps us from bouncing off this white line and we actually get a close below, I do think we might see further downside to either find support on this purple horizontal line at about 10.5k, or even dropping further down to retest my white 3-year long triangle pattern at around, well, anywhere from 9 to 8,000 really. That's quite a big range. It could even be longer depending how long this pattern takes to play out. Obviously, none of this has to happen because we could just shoot to the moon right now, but it's always good to be aware of both potential sides of things, right? What I would be interested to see is, I could see this red box kind of keeping us squished here until we take a bounce off this white trend line and then get our push above, and then kind of a similar situation right here. And if that could happen, we get that bit of consolidation on old resistance as new support and hitting higher and higher levels. Just look at this kind of pattern we could be setting up for to take us above this previous high here at around 14,000 from June of 2019. And if that happens, I think if we keep treating this white trend line as support, I think it's time to look the fuck out, and Bitcoin might be making its moonshot fairly soon. But obviously none of this has to happen. And of course, guys, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research. You're investing your own hard-earned money. Never just take my word for it. Always look into things. I'm just showing you how I'm looking at the market and just potential plays that I'm looking at eyeing up here, that sort of thing. So obviously, there's always two sides to every scenario. We could have the bearish side where this red box treats us as resistance, or we could get above it and get a support flip and really blast off, guys. And you guys know that I am quite bullish the last few months, basically since I started recording videos. Make no mistake, I am no moon boy that I'm only willing to trade to the long side. Like, most of my trade setups since I've been making videos have been bullish, have been longs. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I shorted the shit out of this. Basically, I learned from watching Crypto Kirby. If you don't know who that is, look him up. If you do know who he is, you're probably subscribed to him, but he's a great analyst, and he's the first one who actually introduced the idea of playing short in this market, or the first person that I saw in videos anyways. And I saw this pattern here. I had a good grasp on TA, and I shorted the shit out of this. It was some of the best trading environment that I've had, so I don't know. I have no problem playing this side going short. So I just don't want you guys getting the wrong idea. But getting back to where before I trailed off there, you guys know that I have pointed out this potential bull flag here, kind of taking it from the breakout candle. Somewhere in there, and my target was around 15,000, 15.2 thousand, somewhere in there, and that's definitely not off the table, especially if this white upward sloping trend line does hold as support. I think we could end up hitting that target within the next month or two, but that's if everything continues to look very healthy from a bullish standpoint, guys. And then you guys also know that my bigger target is playing this triangle. Sorry, I know a lot of you guys have probably seen this a million times, but I think it's a very important uh, patterns and price targets and that sort of thing, and kind of showing it. And just in case I have some new viewers, I just want to point out that my target of this triangle pattern is closer to 27,000. So that's kind of where I'm getting that measured move from. Um, Getting that little bit of a refresher course out of the way, guys, I'm going to zoom in back to my BitMEX chart. I'm going to go to my 4-hour chart. And I know, I don't remember if it was my last video or the video before that, but I pointed out this purple trend line here, and I said that was something that I was very interested in watching and looking for a breakout, especially if we got a third touch point. You can see we got our first touch point, we got our second little cluster there. I don't know if I'd count this wick because it only happened on some exchanges. It never happened on all of them, but we did get a third touch point with that red candle there, and then we got our close above. So that was a beautiful 3 or 4 point falling wedge that I'd been waiting for. And as well, we got this double bottom confirmation here with this green box here. And if I pull up the RSI, we also, sorry guys, it's a little messy here, but we did have a bullish divergence going with that double bottom, so I was quite confident in how I was looking at the market. Another thing to watch out for here is if I take out my Fibonacci tool, you guys know that I like to go from kind of the local high to where our dump stops, so we'll take it from our fake out of that ascending triangle a few weeks back down to where we bottomed out at this double bottom here. And you can see we actually did get some candle closes even on the 4-hour above the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement, which is great to see because that means that we weren't immediately getting rejected to all hell at that level. So it's kind of alarming that we did start closing candles back below that between the 618 and the 0.5, but just the fact that we were able to get above it for a little bit, and after a falling wedge slash double bottom, things are looking quite healthy to me. If I were to zoom in even further, what I would like to see is getting some sort of consolidation. First, I would like to get right back up above that white line, which would be the 0.618 retrace, and then get a third touch point along this yellow trend line here before a bit of a breakout. And I think I would definitely be considering playing a long at that point. If we stay below this white line here, I'm not comfortable shorting right now just because things have been so bullish, but I don't know, I wouldn't mind looking for some sort of another falling wedge on Bitcoin. Sorry, I know when I was talking about the 4-hour chart there and that trade I took, I have been in and out of a few day trades. I haven't really been holding this as a really long position. I've just been using this momentum to play with a bullish bias, so I've been in and out of a few trades, so I can't really show you what I'm in right now because I'm in nothing, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for on the 15-minute with some sort of a third touch point here, and then a break or some sort of a falling wedge with 3 touch points, and maybe even a double bottom attached to it again, something like that, just for a couple extra confirmations, right? But what I am in is I am in an Ethereum play. First, I just want to show you how bullish it looks to me. You guys have probably remember from my last few videos that I've been kind of watching Ethereum as a bit of a front runner for Bitcoin and how I think it's leading the market a little bit. And I know I've pointed this out too, is the very top of the wick on, well, June 26th of 2019 when Bitcoin had its $14,000 top. If I go over to Bitcoin on the 4-hour, and you can see that this wick on that day is up around 14,000 as we discussed, and we aren't even all that close to breaking that level yet. Whereas with Ethereum, you can see that not only did we break that level, but we consolidated and formed a double bottom, a big double bottom on a daily chart at that level. Like, That is such a bullish setup. That is such a bullish confirmation. That's exactly what you want to see. You want old resistance becoming new support, and that is one hell of a support zone right there. So that is incredibly bullish if you ask me. Uh, like I said, Bitcoin still has a ways to go before that. So that's another reason why I think it's not unlikely to hit this $15,000 mark, because I don't really think Bitcoin has had its big breakthrough yet. And I mean, obviously, it doesn't have to happen. Maybe Ethereum is just that much more bullish, but it does seem like Ethereum breaks out and then Bitcoin kind of follows lately. So that's just something to really watch for. If I zoom into the 4-hour on Ethereum, you can see I have this bit of a green box here. And basically the top of this wick here, as well as just kind of this, what was a bit of a support zone in this cluster here. And as soon as we dropped below it with some candle body closes, you can see that we retested it as resistance and got rejected there. But you can see on this 4-hour that this looks just like Bitcoin. We have our falling wedge between these purple lines. We have our double bottom here. It has a bullish divergence in the RSI. And another thing I want to point out about this green box that's very interesting is, let's take our pull from what was the local high down to the double bottom range. And you can see that is our 0.618 line at about 400, well, close to 420. Let's call it 420 because why not? And you can see that as soon as we got back above that, we retested it, and Ethereum has been on a tear ever since. So I'm going to zoom in even further. First, I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart. I ended up taking a 15x long at this blue line here. I am still in a third of my position. But you can see here that we had this coiling up range and a bit of a falling channel, I guess. But not only that, it was also consolidating kind of above this range just back here, this cluster, after we supported on the, or sorry, that was just below the 0.618 retrace there. And then going above it and consolidating some more, as well as this channel and getting our break above. I just figured that there was a good chance that Ethereum was about to make a tear. So that's why I ended up in a long there. I just took some profits. I took some at 80% and I took some at 125% about 10 minutes ago. And then the remaining third is still on the table with a stop loss that's been updated. But yeah, you can see here that, yeah, that's 9% move times 15x. You do the math, it's over 100%. So it's a great trade, and I'm in no rush to add to my position or anything because it's a great trade. And I'm gonna let it run. See if I can break those 300% trades that I've had on Ethereum in the past. That would be awesome. Obviously not banking on it, but why not see what happens here? What I'm watching for now on my Ethereum trade is if we end up dropping kind of this horizontal level of support as well at that point, we would obviously be dropping my red trend line here, which you can see here how it kind of went from a resistance line. Now I'm kind of hoping that it turns into a support line. But if it doesn't, then I'll get stopped out of my trade and I'll lock in the rest of my profits. I won't lose on this trade. I can only lock in more profits at this point, so that's always great to have that security and stress-free trade on the go. Something that I would be interested to see if it does play out might be some sort of let's see how this would go here. This is just about a freestyling, guys, here, but some sort of a parallel channel like that. I would love to see Ethereum start bouncing off this green channel just to confirm that that could in fact be what's happening. In which case, I would maybe consider adding to my position closer to this support level if it looks like we are actually forming a bit of a support there to confirm my pattern there. But I haven't decided if I'll do that yet. We'll see when the time comes and what the structure of the chart looks like. Another thing I might look at here, this is again just freestyling a little bit. If I go back to the 4-hour chart here, Let's just throw up a Fibonacci pulled from the double bottom to where we have topped out so far. And it really wouldn't surprise me if we were, actually here, let me get this white line out of here too, but it would not surprise me if we were at the point of having a bit of a pullback now, and if we do drop this red line of support to hit the 382, around $445, that wouldn't overly surprise me, but if that happens, I won't be in my trade anymore. I'll be stopping out the rest of my profits just because I like to lock in profits. And I would be looking for more, I guess, signs of support along that 382. You can see here that it would also be consolidating on top of this general range here, so that's also going to be on my radar if I do get stopped out in a profit on this trade here. Guys, I think I've rambled on long enough. So again, if you liked this content, please give me a like and a subscribe. And again, if you thought of any comments that you want to add or share, or questions, things you want me to touch on in future videos, let me know. With that, guys, I am out. You guys have a safe evening. Peace.